Hello, welcome back to another Yugi vlog where, yes, I have decided to go to locals this week, but I'm not sure exactly if I will end up filming any duels. Uh, if I don't, I do have a backup filmed. Um, so yeah, so it's been a week since the last locals. Like I said, unfortunately we had to take a week off due to Lorcana having a pretty big event on. And then of course next week, the week this actually goes live, will be the quarter century bonanza, as it will have released within a day or two probably of this being uploaded. Now I have made some changes to the deck. So let's go over them instead of me just holding up a card. Let's do a quick little deck profile, shall we? Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much details. Let's just rapid fire through this. So still the same is 3 Razin, 3 Stake Your Soul, 2 Caesar Vilius, 2 Mad Love, 2 Snow Devil. Let me actually zoom in and place these here. 1 Pantera. I've added in 1 Xiaolong just to see how it goes. I have again 1 Bogar, 1 Dust Devil. So that is the Vanquish Soul engine. Moving on to the Unchained engine, we have triple Aruha, triple Abominations Prison, 1 Shyama, 1 Sarama, 1 Shavara, 1 Abominable Unchained Soul, 2 Escape, and 2 Chamber to round out the Unchained package. For the rest of the cards, we have double Fenrir. For the hand traps, I moved Dimension Shifter to the main deck because I'll just try it out for this local, see how it does. This deck does play through Shifter, so since I can play through it and my opponents, depending on their deck, probably can't, let's see how well that goes. And then 3 Imperm, and then the last 2 cards is 1 There Can Be Only One and 1 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Why Anti-Spell? Well, because I don't necessarily play spells. If I do, it won't affect for when I use Anti-Spell, because I know at least one person relies quite a bit on spells. So yeah, well, that is the 40 card list, so we'll see how things go for this locals. The extra deck is basically still the same, so 1 Baguska, 1 Dagaris, 1 Battling Boxer King Dempsey, 2 Rock of Vanquishers for the Link 1s. For the Link 2s, 1 Rage, 2 Yama, 1 Hita. For the Link's 3s is Anguish and Unicorn. For the 4s is Abomination, Access Go Talker until I can get SP, Nightmare Griffin, and Underworld Goddess, the Closed World to round out the extra deck. Moving on to the side, there has been, of course, some changes where Ash is now in the side. I'll just see how that goes for this tournament. Now, I know I do need fires to search, but I still have 3 Aruha plus the Fire Dog and Xiaolong. So I'm not really losing out on not having Ash in the main. But again, we'll see how things go for this locals. 3 Nib, 3 Spooky Dogwoods, triple Droll and Lock, and lastly, triple Evenly Matched. And that is that. So that's what I'm rocking to locals this weekend. Let's see how things go. Okay, 2 packs. Let's see what I can pull. Can I get an ulti again? Let's see. White Princess. So let's see what I get for pack 2. And I got a token.
So did I. First time I got a token.
Yeah, it's the first time I've gotten a token from this. So.
Oh, 0 pack as well.
Okay, let's see what I can pull for a friend here. Oh! Wow!
You get your stinky hands off it.
Well, here you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so I did not get a chance to record round 1 or 2 simply because my opponents were underage. And that was one of the stipulations that the store owner told me, that when it comes to me filming for these videos, that if I'm recording a match with someone, the person has to be of age, has to be 18 or older. So for that reason, unfortunately, I did not get to record the first 2 rounds. So I'll just recap them here. So round 1, I'm paired up against someone playing Orchist. And it was a 2-1 to me, 2-0 to me, because, well, Tikaboo is a hell of a card. But it was, it was still a grind-worthy game. When I, for game 1, I opened Tikaboo, so obviously that helped for game 1. But he's, my opponent still managed to do some things, get a little chip damage off on me. And actually played it out for quite a while before scooping to go to game 2. Game 2, I didn't side anything in, so I opened Shifter both games, I believe. And yeah, then again, it was just eventually I drew into Tikaboo and just put up a strong enough board to stop him. So that was a quick, it wasn't quick, there was still about 19-20 minutes left on the round. So for round 2, I was paired up against somebody else. So it was first time actually being at locals, but again, because they were underage, I wasn't allowed to film our match, and he was playing Utopia, which I lost to. Yeah, so round 1, so game 1, I set up my board, and I got doubled for 10k damage on for. It wasn't Utopia double that killed me. It was actually normal Utopia that got the doubled that you activated double or nothing on. And then game 2, I misplayed because you see I'm still new to the cashier side of things. So I took damage when I shouldn't have taken damage both games, and that was because I'm still new to the cashier stuff. So I attempted to banish, but I still took damage, realizing that's not what, later on that's not what I should have done. So technically I probably could have pulled out game 2, but then game 3, it was up in the air on who could have won that one. So as it stands, that was a loss because of my misplay, unfortunately. And then round 3, I was originally paired up against William, but some pairings got swapped around where I actually went up against Carl. So that is the duel that I recorded. Carl is the head judge of these events, and yeah, it's a long duel. I'm not looking forward to scripting it, but enjoy with whatever I decided to do for that one. Round 3, I lose the die roll and I'm made go second, but in standby I activate Shifter and my opponent passes turn. I draw for turn, I top deck Fenrir, which I special summon and forget to add a copy to hand, but that won't matter in the long run. I activate Abomination's Prison, adding Shavara to hand, I normal summon Razin, add Caesar Villius to hand, and set 1 and pass turn, forgetting to attack. In my head, I thought I had gone first, forgetting that Shifter ended Carl's turn, but even if I had attacked, it wouldn't have been lethal. I could have gotten Villius and Shavara on field, and that would have been 7,400 damage, which wasn't enough to kill. Had I not opened with Dust Devil and opened with an Unchained Trap, I probably could have killed. My opponent draws for turn, activates Moray of Greed, shuffles back 2 water monsters and draws 3, then activates Deep Sea Menstrual, discarding a water to look at my hand and banish one. I then chain Snow Devil, revealing a Fire and Earth, burn for 1,000 and special summon Vilius to field, and Shavara gets banished until the end of the turn. He then normal summon Neptibus and activates his effect, which I shotgun too early, Fenrir's effect of banishing it face down, hoping that that would be enough to stop him, and it wasn't. He still gets Atlantis effect, sending a Atlantean to grave to add Atlantean to hand. He activates Shadow Squad's effect in grave to special summon a level 4 or lower Atlantean monster from deck, bringing out Mermail Abyss Spike, and using its effect to discard a water from hand to graveyard to add a level 3 water from deck to hand. He then activates Atlantean Dragoon's effect in grave, since it was sent there to activate a water monster's effect. He can add 1 Sea Serpent from deck to hand. He then activates Abyss Shrine, the Atlantean Spirit, to pitch itself and another Atlantean or Mermail card from hand to either add a or special summon a level 7 from deck, bringing out Deep Sea King. Neptibus triggers in graveyard, bringing back a guy from grave. He then special summons Moon Glacia, the Elemental Lord, as he has 5 waters in grave. He overlays into Bahamut Shark, which uses its effect to detach 1 and special summon Totally Awesome from the extra deck. He then overlays Bahamut Shark into XC Armor Fortress, which uses its effect to detach 2 and add 2 armored XYZs with different names from deck to hand. He then once again overlays Armor Fortress into full armored Dark Knight Lancer. My opponent then activates Deep Sea King's effect to discard 1 and special summon a level 4 water monster from the grave. My opponent then links into Marincess Coral, which he uses her effect to bring back a water monster with 1500 or less attack from the graveyard. He then overlays into either an Atlantean or Mermail XE, and then overlays into Poseidon Abyss, the Atlantean Dragon Lord, and uses its effect to detach 2 and sends a water from hand or deck to grave, and he can bounce 3 monsters from my field back to my hand. This is where I try to use Dust Devil by switching Ryzen to defense, targeting 2 of his XC to flip them face down defense, but Totally Awesome negates that effect, and unfortunately I do lose game 1, as with no monsters left on the field, he is free to attack me directly for game after doing a bunch more plays.
With no monsters left on the field, I summon Dark Magician, declare direct attack.
Ah, you got me.
Told Joe's the master.
GG.
GG.
Game 2, I opt to go first. I set 2 and normal summon Mad Love using her effect to add Snow Devil to hand. I then set it and pop it with Aruha to special summon Aruha. I then link it to Unchained Lord Yama and add Shavara to hand and pass turn. My opponent draws for turn, and in standby I activate There Can Only Be One. He then pitches a water to special summon Mermail Abystius and then adds a level 4 Mermail and passes turn. I draw for turn, set 1, pass. My opponent draws for turn, and in standby I flip anti-spell, and my opponent normal summons Neptibus, which I imperm, and he passes turn. I draw for turn, I activate Abomination's Prison and add Escape to hand, set it and attack Neptibus and pass. My opponent draws for turn, he then activates Abyss Shrine in hand, pitching it and another water to grave, then activates Atlantean Heavy Infantry to pop my anti-spell. I chain Escape to pop Llama and Neptibus. He then activates Abyss Sting Tyrna to special summon a Mermail or Atlantean from hand or grave. He then activates Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi to equip to the guy he brought back. He then tributes 1 of his monsters to attack me twice and passes turn. I draw for turn and take a gamble and pop Tikaboo with Shavara to special summon it. Then Yama triggers in graveyard, so I banish it to special summon Abominable Unchained Soul using its effect to pop his monster. Then I attack for 5k and link into another Yama, adding Sarama to hand since I had normal summoned. I normal summoned Sarama, activated her effect to set and pop Escape. I then bring out Shyama and pass, and in my end phase I set Chamber off of Shavara's effect. My opponent draws for turn and scoops and goes to game 3. My opponent opts to go first and normal summons Deep Sea Diva, activates her effect to special summon a level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monster and special summon Neptibus. He then uses her effect to send Shadow Squad to graveyard and uses his effect to special summon Abyss Spike, which he uses its effect to send Dragoons to grave. Then he uses that effect to search. He does some more plays and Xyz summoning Bahamut Shark, which is when I nib him, hoping that would be enough to stop his plays, which it was, as all he can do from there is bring out 2 more monsters and pass turn. I draw for turn, and with time quickly ticking down, I need to make more plays to deal some damage and fast. So I normal summon Razin, add Bogart to hand. I then tag out for Caesar Vilius using its effect to pop the token by revealing a Fire, Earth and Dark. I attack, then dealing some damage. In main phase 2, I tag Vilius out for Bogar, using Bogar's effect to burn for 1500 and pass turn. My opponent draws for turn, and in main 1, I burn him for another 1500. He attempts to do some plays, but time is called, and I win, which means I'm currently 2-1. Okay, so I got 3rd place, and this is my prizing: 1 OTS plus 2 Rage of the Abyss. So I'll save the OTS for last. So I've never actually opened any Rage of the Abyss. So let's see what we can pull. And it is a super rare for Drake Shark. And that's pack number 1. Pack number 2. Let's see. Oh, I got a secret rare, Deception of the Sinfoil Spoils. Could have been a Milch Army, but hey, I'll take a secret rare regardless. And then OTS. Let's see what I can get. And another full armor Xyz Dragon. I have so many of these right now, but hey, at least I got 3rd. Okay, so it's actually Tuesday, the day before I upload this, and I just wanted to wrap things up because I didn't like how I originally ended things. So yes, because of my 2-1 record, and because of my rating already on Neuron, that actually secured me 3rd place. So I topped! Yes, it took a while, but I topped my very first locals. Now, again, it was, 3 rounds of Swiss, because there's only really 8 players there, but I'm still happy with this result. And so, as you've seen, that's what I pulled from my packs. So that Sinful Spoil card that I wanted, that I pulled, I actually traded that to the person who topped the event in exchange for something that will better suit me. Because I don't really need that expensive card. I don't use it. I don't plan to use it. I was just going to sell it. And so I traded it for something a little more up my alleyway. I'm trying to fix it up here, but I traded that spell for a official WCQ Vanquish Soul playmat. Yes, factory sealed. So I'm actually going to open this now and take it out. And I am so happy to finally have this, because I'm looking at it now. I know you're just looking at the back of it, but I love it. And it saves me having to order it from Card Market. So there it is. Hopefully you can see. So that means I get to retire another playmat, because as you've seen, since switching over to this new deck, this was the playmat that I was using, because I like to match my main deck with a playmat. And now I have that. I have that with this playmat. So thank you, Austin, for trading me for this playmat, and I cannot wait to use it this weekend for the Bonanza event. And it just feels so soft. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you all next week for the Quarter Century Bonanza event. I'll see you all next week.